This meeting is being recorded.
All right. This is Pill and today's date is January 28th, 2022. And I'm here with lovable Cartrell Payne. Why? It's a long time no see, Cartrell.
Yeah, the last time we talked, we recorded a podcast was like, I think 2018. That was like 4 years ago.
Well, we kept in touch. From what I recall, 2018 was a really bizarre period because people were actually kind of dipping out of the pre-recorded podcast sphere. Everybody wanted to do blood sports. Everybody had something, and everybody was everywhere on all the internet platforms. And we're still in that post period right now, but I think we're in now the silver or bronze age of YouTube, and there's too much data on the internet for sure.
Yeah, the golden age of YouTube is gone. It's like, gone are the days where you could watch a Joe Rogan podcast or some obscure Russian movie nobody's ever heard of, or watch copyrighted episodes of old Disney and Naruto cartoons.
That was 2013 for me. I remember it was like literally Hey Arnold, all 100 episodes. Yeah, that was a decade ago.
YouTube has cracked down on copyrighted material being uploaded. If back in the day they didn't care, but now if you put it up, it's like you better enjoy it, because if they find it out, it's gonna be gone like after a day.
I remember there was Vimeo and people were doing that. 2014. There is Chinese mirror websites. Like you can go on Kiss Cartoon and fake all the ads and get through it, but it's not as easy as it was the gold age of YouTube, where in 2010 you can actually find pornography on YouTube if you did the search enough on a live stream. Just nobody reported it. And a lot of my favorite stuffs, I have like a playlist on YouTube of over 5,000 videos I liked and watch, and about like 300 of them are gone, probably because of cultural, I have a lot of Japanese YouTube videos saved, but remember, it's all streaming and it's all in the cloud. And when you like them, it doesn't mean you downloaded them. And that's been making me think about the internet recently and about how we really have to download mediums to like a hard disk instead of just streaming, because now everything is streaming. And simply by liking a video, we're just bookmarking it to watch it later. And there's no promise it's going to be there by like 2025.
It's like I watched a video that said, I forgot what the video was called. I think it was Knowledge Hub, and it talked about how, you really don't own anything on the internet.
Oh yeah, you only own it if it's your data, you downloaded it, and you have the .com servers to back it up. And nobody really wants to make a Facebook, Twitter, whatever rival. There are some people trying to do like Parler, but it doesn't have a chance. And people just gave their powers to a small Silicon Valley elite. And normal people don't understand that participating on the internet and using digital technology means that the internet or hacker culture has influenced them in some way. And that has become a norm. And it's hard to take this technology for granted and say all of this is meaningless, because it's not. It makes everyone a hacker or a 4chan user, whether we like it or not.
Yeah, that's true. Like, dang, I don't know. I remember when I first, got YouTube. I watched like so many obscure stuff.
Yeah, well, it's still like that today. I'm still an avid YouTube consumer daily. It's better than anything out there right now. And
oh yeah, that reminds me, you remember MySpace? Remember when people used to like MySpace when that was relevant?
Yeah, I remember those days too. I remember I didn't have a MySpace, but I had a MySpace Music. I had DJ Quado from 2008. And for 2 years, I was on net labels and things like that with my chiptune music. But that period's kind of dead because technology just got better, and you can just upload a raw MP3, and it isn't as esoteric as say like a .mod or a MIDI file that you're downloading.
or like remember Napster? Like I remember back in the day, Napster was like a big thing. Like even the Proud Family like did an episode that was kind of like a parody of Napster. I
Yeah.
don't know if you remember the Proud Family.
Yeah, I like the dad. I thought the dad was funny. I didn't watch Disney during that era, but that's a pretty funny era. I liked the PJs and old episodes of Fat Albert.
Oh, I love the PJs. I remember when he used to come on Fox back in the day.
Yeah, I was very young for that. Oh
Yeah,
yeah, that leaves in total digression about how channels are different. Everybody's on the internet. Even the part where G4 was like on your basic cable. Now G4 is on the internet talking about women in gaming or something silly like that.
yeah. Adult Swim. If you think about it, Adult Swim was kind of like the YouTube of the early 2000s. Like if you look at, like for example, look at Super Milk Chan. That's basically something
Yeah.
that could be a meme today.
Oh yeah. I love Super Milk Chan. I was 14 when that came out. I liked how cute and quirky that was. That's like if you're into Shonen Knife or Subomato. I come from that scene. I love stuff like that.
Yeah, how old are you now? I'm like 26.
Oh, I'm a 30-year-old boomer.
You're not a
I'm,
boomer. You're like Gen Z.
I guess, but I've seen a lot, I can say. I've seen a lot. I took it for granted that there was many different cultural changes in front of me and different fads I took for granted. That when I was 14, it was like the Newgrounds period. By the time I was 17, it was early YouTube. By the time I was 20, it was like Facebook. And I just thought that was stupid normie stuff. And I think I might have seen the transformation of like Chad and Stacy go through like 6 different Theus's ships and transform 6 different times. And I've always remained the same throughout decades. And I just don't understand why normal people are so whacked today.
That reminds me of something else I wanted to bring up. Like, I don't know if you've seen all of Star Versus, but man, the last 2
It's
seasons.
funny. It's funny. I was just about to bring up Starverse, the Forces of
Yeah,
Evil.
the last 2 seasons were kind of lackluster in my opinion. It's like,
I
the
mean,
show had so much potential. Like the first 2 seasons are great, but man, the other 2 seasons are just kind of meh.
I mean, I was just about to bring that up because Disney like so changed from Proud Family to Starverse to Force Evil, and Star is just considered to be like a Sweppel version of Steven Universe or something. And I've preferred Star over Steven for many times, and I love watching reruns of that. I mean, there is the Owl House nowadays, but the Owl House is like, I don't know. There's this message of like hating men in it, but like everybody likes the Owl House because of the girls. It's guys.
Hey, have you ever seen Amphibia? Have you ever seen Amphibia?
Oh
That's
yeah,
pretty
yeah.
good.
That I think that's funny because that's Brenda Song, Macaulay Culkin's wife.
Yeah.
I don't know if you're into like the whole YouTube sphere or not. There's like on that show and on the Big Greens, or what is it, the Green Family, Big City Greens.
Yeah.
There's that one actress, Anna Akana. She's like in both of them. She's like the sassy Filipino mixed Asian chick, and she had like a video on YouTube say, "Why does Asians hate Asians?" or something. Like that's kind of like some weird deep state stuff, but.
Oh, can I do like a quick shout out?
Yeah, sure.
If any of the YouTube viewers out there got any business opportunities, or if you're a hot girl who wants to have sex, or if you have any mystical Tibetan objects, contact me on
Interesting.
Facebook.
I know you've been interested in the mystical ring stuff. I remember you were asking for those rings like a year ago. I don't have the ring stuff.
Yeah, I'm also trying to like, fuck beautiful women. Like,
It's like you're entering a Rush period.
yeah, I'm thinking about paying for it. Like maybe some,
Do you do
escorts or something.
do you do OnlyFans?
What? No.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, like
I don't have the
man,
answer for you.
yeah. I mean, I want to fuck a porn star, like maybe Say a Song or Kelly Richards.
Do you talk to them on Twitter?
Yes.
They're very interesting people when you talk to them on Twitter, for
You
sure.
know Kelly Richards?
No, but probably Luke Ford does.
Yeah, he probably does. Like he knows all those old porn people.
Well, I just like the fact where you can have a conversation with them and dialogue, and it isn't so much about sex. It's more about the condition or the existential reality or the philosophical investigation into sexuality. But that's just me. But or it's kind of like punk rock in a way. It's like feminist punk rock.
Like Riot Girl. 90s had
Yeah.
some good Riot Girl. Like there's this one girl band I like. I don't know if you consider them Riot Girl. They're more like Twee Pop, but damn, I forgot what they were called.
Well, I mean, Shonen Knife, Subomoto, all of those, with Linda's, it's all relative in a weird way, for sure. Oh, I mean, but I've always been, it's cool that the internet can be used as this technology where you can um, talk to those people and then intersect to your own political interests or as a blogger. And that Luke Ford talked to that person, which talked to Cartrell, and it makes it almost an internet subculture. And that's kind of like, as I was saying 3 years ago, apocalypse culture. That this kind of new Adam Parfrey style apocalypse culture coming from that. And that's always something I've tried to label and define. I had a hard time explaining in my own words.
Yeah, what porn star would you fuck if you had the chance?
Oh my God. I think my girlfriend would get upset if I had an answer. I think that's I mean, I could be very specific in the, aesthetics of models and who they are. I think men, it's okay for men to desire women, but it's almost like in fine art. It's like saying you like Ellsworth Kelly or you're like Bridget Riley. Um, I always said to people that I always liked an actress by the name of Anime Song or Anime Wong. She's, Google image, doesn't do porn, but I thought she was this like quintessential beautiful woman. And people are saying, oh, well, she's Chinese American, but it's more than that. It's more, if Silicon Valley elites are celebrating her for being, this ideal, typical beauty, I have to agree. It's this kind of unique beauty that isn't so much Eurocentric or not too much on the, it's a hybrid. It's a Eurasian type of hybrid. And I always think that following that line of beauty, it's a good thing. I mean, I heard the United States might even press a $250 with Anime Wong on it. So other than that, if you want me something more tame, then if the Wignat wants to know, I would say Barbara Eden from I Dream of Jeannie. I think Barbara Eden from I Dream of Jeannie is like the quintessential Euro-Americana woman who's like completely rare, does not exist, totally is not the Stacy in 2022, but in the 60s was the ideal. That's when the white population was growing. And at that time, everybody wanted to be with Barbara Eden. Highly fertile, highly nice, and that's something hard to find anymore. But again, if we're talking about aesthetics and different porn actresses and all that, and that's a huge list. It's hard to go over. I mean, you might know this too, Cartrell. Do you know who Priya Blue is?
Who?
Priya Blue.
Priya Blue.
Yeah, Priya, but it's not like Priya Ray. It's Priya Blue.
Yeah, now I don't know Priya Blue, but I know who Priya Ray is.
Well, Priya Blue, or no, I think it's Blue Ray. I think it is, but she basically. Okay, well, Priya Ray was once the ideal Indian porn actress. Well, Priya Blue, I believe, she's the most top Pornhub model ever, and she's just a fat, chubby Indian American chick, So I don't know if you're like on that or something, but I always think it's funny because, Ray Blue.
Oh yeah,
Ray Blue.
yeah. Oh, I remember what the Twee Pop band's name was. All Girl Summer Fun Band.
All Girls Summer Fun Band. All Girls Summer Fun Band. Ah, okay. Gotcha. I'm just searching them right now. Cool. What is this? 2090s. I like it. I like it. I like it. You know what? You know what? I might have actually came across this in a record store before. This is so like A Boy Named Thor on Red Records. I definitely came across this band in a record store once. I like this. I like it. I like it. It's funny because it's like the idealistic pop bands, you know? It's just like what white people tell themselves at night that, you know, the all girl summer fun band is like the ideal, you know, all races are going to get together. There's going to be a black chick and Asian chick, and they're all just going to make cool indie rock music. Read Daniel Clowes and everything's going to be okay. But I don't know. It's a daydream for sure.
I doubt it. Like, you know, I'm not a race realist. Like, I think race realism and right wing ideas in general are kind of dumb.
It's more about how they're not appealing this decade because so much of it is disaster and catastrophic stuff happening where you can be a realist knowing what's right from wrong, but simply being a
What's
Christian
right?
author.
What's right and what's wrong? You mean I'm kind of amoral? I don't believe
I mean,
there's really a right or wrong.
it's not like it's a Nietzschean thing. It's more like, you know what the good life is, you know what's bad, but if there's race war outside right now, just acknowledging the difference between white and black is not going to solve all the issues. It's more about how like crooked capitalism is, or how society, the concept of liberalism. You know, race realism and right-wing ideals will help you become an anti-liberal, but it won't solve the issue at hand. It's a form of enlightenment, but the enlightenment can go so as far as diagnosing the problem but having no answers.
What do you mean by liberalism? That could mean anything. That's like saying conservatism. There's like a million forms of it.
Well, basic liberalism, the ideal, the liberty, the free, the individual. You can do what you want. You respect other individuals for doing what you want, kind of like libertarianism. The ideal that you're enlightened, that you're this constant intellectual, just you have to understand all these different perspectives, and that you have to go
What,
above.
you want to be anti-intellectual? You want to be a goofy guy like Charles A. Coulomb and go to
No,
church every day and
no,
praise the monarchy from
no, that's
Hungary?
no, that's reactionary. That's like classic, like, you know, that's monarch. That's reactionary. That's Curtis Yarvin, Nick Land stuff. I'm talking more about the liberal, the transhumanist idea, because liberalism is just before transhumanism. That transhumanism is escaping the human body to go in a robot, to be a cyborg, do what you want, and to escape
I like the idea. I like the idea of transhumanism.
to some degree. But you have to understand, like, it's transhumanism is thinking 3 steps ahead. It's a science fiction ordeal. It's not something that can be. I think the elites right now want this transhumanist reality. They want Skynet AI to be present in our everyday lives through smartphone stalking, whatever. They say transhumanism can help betterment people, but I think transhumanism is going to be ultimately a negative. It's just going to make the rich oligarchic class live forever and everybody else sedated in their own matrix. And it's going to be based upon shame and self-guilt politics. You know?
Sounds almost like the anime Text No Alive. I'm probably not pronouncing it right, but
I still enjoy Patario. That's such a good anime. But other
hey,
than
what's with that cover? Like 7 Red 7 Shelter. Like, is that an album or something?
oh yeah, that's a great album. It's kind of like Information Society, Depeche Mode clone, 7 Red 7. They're amazing. I love Shelter. I love Bay State Coma. They just had those 2 albums, but they only lasted for 4 or 5 years from Chicago. They knew Anything Box. I actually talked to the guy's son, David's son, on YouTube, and I asked them, could they just reissue the album or make a new album together? And he says, I'm going to have to ask Dad that. 7 Red 7's an amazing band. I love them.
Yeah. I'm trying to think, what is my favorite band? I think I like Soul Coughing a lot.
Super Bon Bon. Yeah. Super Bon Bon, Circles.
Rolling.
Yeah. They used to be played on Cartoon Network too. Facts. They're actually a really good soul coughing. They were like an evil, they might be giants, less cool, kind of funky thrash. Oh yeah, that's definitely I like soul coughing too. But they just stopped in like the middle of the 2000s and they just became urban legend with like Circles. Yeah. I mean, I would. Hey, I would go see a concert in 2022, but like we're still in post pandemic, whatever that means. And
Oh, hey, can you cut out the part where I was blowing my nose?
oh, it's fine. I'll cut out the part you're blowing your nose. It's okay.
Yeah, that's kind of embarrassing. Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't. Nobody's nobody's watching that much, but it's funny.
Crap, I was trying to go back. Trying to get back to what I was thinking about.
Soul coughing.
Oh crap! Yeah, like, have you ever gone surfing before? Like for the last couple of months, I've been getting into surf culture and listening to the Beach Boys.
Yeah, I like surfing. The thing with surfing is you got to start when you're young because when you're middle aged like me, you're flabby and it's hard to attract women surfing. Hard to attract. I don't know. It's I like surfing. I just didn't grow up with it. And then having glasses and surfing, if that's a plausibility, is that just I don't know. Yeah, I like surfing too. I think surfing's fun if you ever grew up in Cali or Florida, for sure.
Or
I wouldn't count
Hawaii.
Hawaii. Oh yeah, Hawaii's great.
You ever been to Hawaii?
I would love to go to Hawaii. I love the shag tiki culture stuff and the spam.
Yeah, plus Asian Aryanism could work in Hawaii.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean the whole Eurasian thing too. I mean, I know Sandy, David Bowie's ex-Japanese Eurasian girlfriend, teaches hulu classes in Hawaii. And I know Shag, who does the tiki art, is from Honolulu. One of those obscure places like Alaska, but if you're from Hawaii, you stay in Hawaii. And I just feel like, the rich benefit of being a surfer guy or a working class guy with a beautiful, Hawaiian wife in Hawaii, being like Hank Hill, but just like so romantic.
Yeah,
it sounds bourgeois, but it's just romantic.
Yeah, like a tropical Hank Hill.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Totally into that. But I don't know. Some of us are not born like that way. Instead, you're born in Philadelphia and you have to live in the Delaware Valley.
Or you were born in Memphis, Tennessee, like me. A boring ass city with a higher crime rate.
It wasn't. I mean, it wasn't poor always. It's just recently, in the last 30 years, it became that way. Like Baltimore, St. Louis, and Detroit. Detroit.
Well, I mean, yeah, but I wouldn't say we were ever a rich city, like New York or anything. Like we've always kind of been like a blue collar type place. Like, I mean, Memphis is not the type of place where you eat caviar and go on the yacht. It's not like
unless you're in Jackson, Mississippi, you can go on the steamboats and gamble, right? Yeah, right.
Yeah, but nobody's taking a yacht to Jackson. Hell no.
It's gambling. I assume that you just gamble in Jackson on your steamboats and just everyone ignores you, and then you just go to New Orleans or Houston for your city.
Yeah, New Orleans. Yeah, that's a nice area. I mean, I've never been there, but I heard it's nice.
I mean, I was in Nashville actually a couple of months ago for American Renaissance. So
yeah, I read about that. I think you wrote about it on like your blog or something, or was it?
I was on America There through stuff, some other things too. So all that. I mean, Nashville is great. It's so class divided. It's like poor is in Memphis. If you got money, Nashville. That's how I see it, at least. But anyway, yeah, I mean, growing up for quarter of a century in Delaware Valley, that's like, Delaware, New Jersey, South Jersey, Pennsylvania, East Pennsylvania. It's not that glamorous, but it isn't New York, but it is classic Americana suburbia. The problem is it's just problematic.
Ever since I was a kid, I wanted to get the hell out of Tennessee. Like I always viewed it as like a boring state.
It's more like Tennessee's for cowboys. right? It's for like tennies. It's like for the people that got that accent and they don't mind anybody, right?
I think you're confusing us with Texas. Tennessee is more like Appalachian Mountain, like
Yeah, it's like the West
Beverly
Virginia flair.
Hillbillies or something.
It's like it has. It's like a better West Virginia. It's like a wealthier West Virginia, though.
Yeah, that's not really saying much, but thanks, I guess.
I mean, I've been in San Francisco for a year now, and totally different vibe, totally different people. San Francisco is very interesting, but it's I think there's some surfer culture here. You would like it in San Francisco.
Yeah,
Just
I know Ocean Beach has like some big waves.
oh yeah, I've been there.
I mean, but the problem with California though is that unlike Florida or Hawaii, the water is cold as hell.
Yeah, you just have to deal with that. And thing is, you to really enjoy California is that you have to be from Cali. You have to be born in California. You have to be raised and born in Cali, and that's kind of a family thing. It turns out everyone in the Bay Area, it's multi-generational. Once you're in the Bay Area, you don't leave the Bay Area, and when people come in, it's just for a job interview or something.
Yeah, I mean, I know like this old lady, Kath Todd. She like was involved with the underground comic scene in the '60s. She lives, I think, in a suburb of Sacramento, and
Okay.
yeah, her family's been in California since like the 1800s. Like she's like
Yeah.
Scottish, like we're like Scottish immigrants or something.
Yeah, Sacramento. That reminds me of Nashville on the West Coast. Sacramento is about an hour and a half away from San Fran, but it's one of the only places you can go to a Cracker Barrel. It's one of the only Cracker Barrels in Cali. So if you're into that,
I've been to
Sacramento's
Cracker
way
Barrel. They got good chocolate at the Cracker Barrel.
chicken. It's the chicken and grits is the best, right? Chicken grits. Yeah, I mean, I'm not surprised, but I'll be back in Pennsylvania soon because I got to work on my art. That's most importantly. I got to work on my art, Pennsylvania, find new work, go back to NYC, do all that fun stuff. Yeah, NYC is great too, but it's just crazy, cray, cray.
Yeah. So how long you been at SF?
About a year. About February of 2021, and
Man, San Francisco is expensive, bro. So I don't know how
yeah,
you're making money to live
uh,
there. You must be doing some odd jobs or something.
yeah, pretty much. It's not feasible. It's just my San Francisco experience, but I will tell you, the California exodus is real. If the only way you can live in Cali is again, you have to be Mexican or at least be a part of here or some rich oligarch with a flight every other day or
Or
something.
or you live in a part of California that nobody cares about, like Humboldt County.
Happy Camp, right? That touches Oregon. Happy Camp, California. That's always
You
a
know,
or
you know,
you just go off the Bay Area, like below
or
San
you can
Jose.
live on the Central Coast. Central Coast is pretty affordable. By Cali standards. Like I know people. Ventura, Oxnard, Silver Strand.
Mm,
As long as you stay away from like Monterey and Santa Cruz and Santa Barbara, Central Coast is pretty affordable. Like Pismo Beach,
hmm
Oceano. I'm probably not pronouncing that right.
I see.
Let's see. I already said Ventura and Oxnard. Let's see. Oh yeah, like some parts of Santa Barbara are affordable.
Yeah, that's where Robert Stark is. Yeah, I've been in Santa
Yeah,
Barbara.
yeah, he's from Santa Barbara. Yeah,
His family's there. That's why. I mean, I've been to his family's house. I've been to mom and dad's house in Santa Barbara. That's the thing. You just got to be from Cali. And when you come into Cali, you're just having fun. It's that simple because everybody, and chances are everyone's leaving Cali for Texas because I don't know, or just Oregon or Nevada or
or
Phoenix.
Florida.
Oh, Florida's nice too. I love Florida.
Yeah, when I think of some people from Florida are probably gonna get mad at me when I say this, but Florida to me has always been like the poor man's version of California, Hawaii. It's like, I mean, Miami Beach really can't compare to like Laguna Beach or to Honolulu, in my opinion.
Well, Miami's on the East Coast. That's the first thing you got to understand. And it's the complete opposite of California. It's literally inverted California, and it's cheap. And Disney World's from there, and
Well, actually, Disney World started in California
yeah,
first.
I mean, I've been to Disneyland. In Anaheim. Yeah, I've been to that Disneyland. Really cool place. But World's second place there, makes the tax lows, makes everything cheap. And if you're from the Caribbean, you're probably going to go through the Miami, you know, border patrol first. You know.
Yeah,
Oh.
and the waves in Florida kind of suck. Like Florida does not have good surfing except for Sebastian Inlet. Other
I
than
mean,
that, it's
there's some
kind of
surfers.
terrible.
There's some surfers in Miami. It's very low. It's different. It's like rocky. Like being in Miami, you feel more like you're trapped in 1985 and you're in Magnum PI than anything. A bunch of flamingos and Jai and all that fun stuff.
Or you feel like you're like, Vice City with Tommy Vercetti.
Yes, Jai. Is that how you say it?
You talking about the sport?
Yeah, it's from Florida, right?
I thought it was from Cuba.
Yeah, it makes sense because Cuba is so close to Hialeah, right? Hialeah. I'm gonna put it through the editor.
Yeah, I'm not a Spanish speaker, so I don't know.
I thought it was Hialeah. Jai. It translates to festival, merry festival. Basically, you get a ball and you throw it across the wall. That's like so abundant in Florida.
So it's basically like handball.
It's handball with like a weapon on your hand, and you throw it against the wall, and then it's like wall ball too, and you throw it against, and then you bet. And then the funny part is Cubans bet on which one's going to win, which is a very bizarre betting sport.
Yeah. I mean, usually people, they bet on like cricket or football or stuff like that. You don't usually, weird.
Yes.
Like I know people in Australia bet on cricket games, to see who's gonna win.
I mean, yeah, it's fun. Some of that. I miss playing pool actually, billiards, Qumran, whatever they call it.
I used to play a little basketball. I mean, I wasn't good at it when I played.
Yeah, basketball can be fun. I mean, I wish I grew up with like ping pong or tennis, and I mean, it sounds like I want to be a Chad or something like that, but I really don't. I just mean to say I wish I was a delicate Frenchman who would play sports all the time and have a rich family that supported me, and I wouldn't have to worry a day in the world, and I would just be an athlete at the Olympics or something.
Sounds like you want to be kind of like, like a liberal version of Taki. Taki is kind of like that. Taki Theor. I'm probably not
He's
going
a
to be
sumo guy, right? He does. I'm
pronounce
not
his name the right way.
black belt. He does black belt, or he does karate.
He does judo, which is
Judo,
just
jujitsu. Okay.
Yeah.
Taki does jujitsu. Well, not jujitsu is a little brutal. I like something more. I used to do wrestling too, but I don't like that. I like something more like tennis or like ping pong or something like that. Or like, but if it was a game, I'd probably do billiards.
I got some friends who do like Shaolin martial arts, so that's kind of difficult. Like if you're a newcomer, though.
I mean, but the sad thing though is that once you do a sport, you have to give up intellectualism in writing. You know.
No, you don't. I mean, not always. Like, look at Kelly Slater. He's a surfer and he's like really smart. So he's not an idiot.
He's not an idiot, but he's known for surfing rather than. And I think, I don't know. I just feel like if you were smart or intellectual, you would be writing books and you'd be a PhD. And you'd be like discovering math and just investing into art. And I feel like being sports, all you have to do is do your sport. Then when you're done, you go to the bar, you go to the club. There's a mistress waiting for you, whatever. Your coach does everything for you, and you live the normal Chad and Stacy lifestyle in Singapore or something like that. And I think too many normies chased after that dream or something.
Yeah, but let's keep it real. Guys who play sports, they get pussy. I mean,
Well, that's
I
why
mean, look. I
yeah.
mean, for example, you know about Lisa Ann, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's a porn star. Like, she's known for having sex with like basketball players. But if you look it up, I don't think she's had sex with like any Nobel Prize winners. I mean, let's keep it real there.
Well, we gotta understand what basket players and what team. What team and what basketball players? Sixers, Jazz.
You know, I mean, she's been with like a lot of guys, so it's hard to tell. I don't know.
And who knows? Maybe she might fall in love with the Nobel guy. That's the thing. Or
Man, come on, you know that ain't happening. You in Dreamland,
never
that ain't
say
happening,
never,
man.
because love is a very bizarre thing. It's an intimate and platonic. It could go anywhere. Somebody who's completely an athlete could fall in love with the bookworm. It just happens. It's like gay relationships are like that too.
Yeah, right. I'm like Al Bundy. I'm a nihilist. I say, yeah, right.
That's a little radical, but no, I mean, I'm just saying about how subculture is very interesting. You think it's like all just basketball players, but then it's like, well, it's not just reserved for that niche basketball community. It could be like, the fine artist is dating this very interesting person. And it doesn't matter if they're fat or flabby or skinny or whatever. It just happens because of intimate platonic relationships. It just happens out of like sheer luck and just you being you at the right time. Mm.
I mean, I'm not saying it's impossible, but I guess you could call me a cynic because, you know, I've had kind of a shitty life, so I always expect the worst to happen. So
You can always expect the worst, but then something good will happen. Anything can happen. You just have to put trust in it and go the right way and just, you know.
yeah, I mean, even Al Bundy had good days. I mean, they were rare, but sometimes it happened like once an episode in a blue moon.
Mm, I see. What have you been reading recently, like in book wise?
Well, let's see. I've been reading. I've been reading. Dang, what is that magazine called? You gotta look it up. I've been reading about. Well, I've been reading comic books. I've been reading like, you know, about. I've been reading like tradition, this Catholic traditionalist magazine. Well, yeah, it's called Triumph, but
Okay,
yeah, there was this Catholic traditionalist magazine in the '60s called Triumph,
I
and
see.
I bought like the collected best articles, in book form. I don't know what it is about me, but I'm attracted to like radicalism. Like I don't care if it's left wing radicalism or right wing radicalism. Like I like both the idea of communism and monarchy.
Yeah, it's like radical.
Now, I don't think I would ever
It's like a radical third
like
position.
I don't think I would ever accept like I don't think I would ever accept the idea of a monarch like in real life.
Yeah, it's like a radical fascist meets communist edge thing. But it's like you're
Well, I
radical.
would call myself
It's like you
I
do what
would call
you.
myself a fascist.
Mm,
Like I don't think I would ever like the idea of monarchy in real life unless I'm the monarch myself. Like if I and I would like to be like a enlightened absolutist. Like you're an absolute monarch, but you're liberal at the same time. You're kind of progressive,
I see.
like Catherine the Great.
Mm, I see. I see.
Yeah, and you should look up L. Brent Boswell Jr. Like he wrote a lot of good stuff, and if you can find like some rare copies, find some copies of his magazine or at least the collected articles of Triumph. You should. He's a good writer. I mean, he was a good writer. He died like in 1997, I think. Yeah.
I see.
And don't confuse him with his son. L. Brent Boswell the third is just lame. He's no L. Brent Boswell Jr. He's the real deal.
I see. Is there
Yeah,
anything
look him
else
up.
you'd like is there anything else you'd like to talk about?
Um, well, what upcoming projects do you have? Because I've been wanting to start like this avant-garde, band for a while.
I'm into that. I would love to get into
Yeah, it'd
that.
be like a Brian Wilson Smile, type experimental pop group.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like that. I mean, I'm into making music kind of into music, art, books. I'm good with that. Or if you have any contributing STEM files or whatever, we can work with that.
Oh crap! I don't know how to make music, so
Nah, whatever. We'll try.
I've also thought about making porn and cartoons.